anybody seen Kyle?
On the edge. Oh,
Kyle?
they said a blockhead and pushing
Kyle.
through the pain. Yeah, and taking names. A blockhead
Kyle?
and learning what we can.
Kyle?
And sticking to the man.
Where the hell is he?
Oh,
Kyle.
oh, I am a blockhead.
Alright, screw it. We're just doing it without him.
A blockhead, yes I am.
Welcome to episode 5, Gratitude. This is the 5th part of our 5-part Blockhead series. The Blockhead part series has been vulnerability, trust and honesty, consideration, work ethic, and now
gratitude.
Thank you.
Uh,
And I forgot to say nobility of character. Kyle would get mad at me if I forgot about that. So work ethic does go with nobility of character. And you probably see me peeking down on my cheat sheet because I was actually looking at those to make sure I didn't screw anything up. So but yeah, we're here. We are very grateful to be here. We apologize for the delay. Obviously, it's been a little over the 2-week period that we like to release our podcast. So thanks everybody for your patience. And we're really looking forward to getting out a quick episode. Did you just throw us in?
yeah, doing a little, getting a little pep in my step here.
Dude, you know who loves
nicotine pump?
You know who loves those?
Who?
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
He swears by him. He's like, nicotine and coffee are just absolute like super. He's like, I don't do any drugs, none of that stuff. But he's like, they're absolute superpowers. I to the point between him and obviously other people as well. I've actually thought of like considered being like, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to get juiced up on something because I'm a huge coffee guy.
Yeah.
Having the Zins, especially for the long drives and stuff, just that little extra nicotine. But I don't want to get addicted to it either. I heard it's pretty addictive.
I'm grateful for the Zins. They are a little bit of an addiction, but at the same time, I probably do 2 a day, maybe.
That's reasonable.
It's almost like, if I do need a little bit more of clarity or a little bit more focus, I'll put one in. And I play golf with them. I mean, I play fantastic when I have a Zin in golfing. I'm not. This isn't to pump them up, but I'm just telling you my experience. All right. So grateful for that.
It's intriguing, dude. It honestly is. I really the what are they called? The Nelk boys.
Yeah.
They dropped in this like massive Zin thing like with a crane for Tucker Carlson when they met with them or whatever. It was actually funny. It's a funny clip, but
Nice.
I'm like, man, the hype is real. Hearing it from people like you that I actually trust that they're like a legit energy booster, and I'm all about like energy and like pushing through it. Caffeine is like been my go-to, but I mean, I've smoked cigarettes before and stuff. I mean, I don't like to make a habit of it, and I'm not a huge fan of them or advocate of them, but there's definitely something that it gives you, especially like late night or whatever. I like cigars a lot. I'm starting to get into those.
What's really great about them, Don, like you have no bad breath. There's no real residual like tobacco in your teeth or anything like that.
Yeah,
that
like
you would have
stuff.
had for
Yeah.
dip. And I fucking hated that. Like I used to take a dip when I was playing softball. Yeah, Zins and on that they do all right, and I hope there's no side effects that are yet to be seen. But here we are, and we're getting zinned up. Well,
You say wow.
well.
Wow. So this just popped in my head, so I'm going to say it. And we're not talking about gratitude at all, which is great. But I'm grateful for having funny friends. And sometimes you just get a text message, and it's like you just start laughing out loud. It's so great. That's when the phone and the media stuff can really be great. I'm grateful for that, right? Like group chats within reason, and like memes. Like memes are amazing. Talk about being like because you can look at the stupid picture of something and it just hits perfectly and you relate to it and you're like, you just start laughing. Like it just brings like a little joy to you. Like that's cool, right?
Yeah. Look at where we are. Technology that would have never been around 20 years ago. And, we get all this cool stuff that we get to do. We're grateful for that. It's good stuff.
You know what? There's a marker there. I have a really good quote to where you went with that. But I wanted to tell the story first.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I
Keep
get a
going.
text message. I get a text message from North End Ricky. So North End Ricky went to Bridgewater with Hayden
Right.
and the Bridgewater boys, right? He sends a text message of this guy, and he's promoting some electric boat or something like that. And the guy, he goes, "Why does this guy look like all three of us fucked and had a baby?" And I'm like, and then like Hayden looks at it and he's like, "I hate this guy. Why is it so true?" And I'm like, "Dad?" Question mark. Like it was like, but it literally looks like a weird, like
We,
Italian, like just annoying version of all three of us combined. It's hilarious.
we're gonna need to post the pic. We're gonna
Oh,
need
we
to
have
pop
to.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone
Yep.
who knows, Hayden and Ricky will get a kick out of it. So I think that posting that would be awesome. But before I forget my train of thought there, I love what you said about technology, because I am one of those people who definitely gets negative about the way prices are, and especially with real estate and these different things and inflation, and it can really take a toll on you, right?
Oh yeah.
But I think that leading into gratitude, right? I think it's amazing that things are so cheap because of technology. If you really think about it, like we can do this Zoom thing and pay a minimum amount to record on here, right? That's amazing. There's all the software that can help us do clips and different things we're learning about. Where if we had to hire like a full-time video editor and do all these crazy things that it used to need to do this type of production and to try to create this type of thing, I think the market's more competitive because more people can do it. But it's amazing how much you can get done productivity wise with what we've done with the podcast, or even business wise with
Dude.
generating
And
leads. And I mean, it's you're getting so much more value for your dollar as a result of technology. Basically, what I was trying to get to.
absolutely. And you know it too, because um even with this technology, we tried to, look into some higher end production costs. And it's pretty hefty out there. So grateful to be able to do this and thankful that we can do it at a minimum rate. We're not making any money doing this just yet. And yeah.
Should
Um
we bash those guys? Or this is the gratitude episode, so maybe we shouldn't.
no.
But like,
They're just trying to make a buck like everybody
yes,
else in this world.
I don't. I shouldn't have said it like that, but like, it's sometimes it's fun to gossip. Let's be honest. But like, yeah, long story short, Rudy was alluding to us trying to like, outsource some additional editing and stuff. And we thought that it would be cheaper to do because it was actually, the company was out of the country. And then they kind of came back to us and they were really good. They met with us, did some stuff for us, and we're like, this is great. And then they're like, yeah, like based off what you guys need, it's going to be at least $1,000. And we're like, but we told you our budget is
A
less than
month.
that. Yeah, I'm like, for a month, and yeah, and I'm
I
like,
got a kid, man.
but I was like, maybe at some point, but
Yeah.
like they were being consultants, and we were very impressed with them, and they were like right at the last stage, but we gotta get just a little more something here, and I don't think I even said, I'm like, I don't think that we're communicating necessarily exactly what we want for what the price we want. Like we just got to get on the same page, and they were basically like, that's kind of like that is what it is, like that's what we need to do, what you guys wanted. And I was like, all right, well, you guys kind of put in a lot of work to this and kind of it seemed like they dropped the ball at the end, but obviously that's just my perspective of it. So
Yeah.
but super grateful for what they did for us. And that, my buddy Max obviously introduced us to them. They might even watch this. So they were very professional and great. I just, I'm actually a little disappointed we weren't able to bridge the gap at the end, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe, it's not to put them off, but we were just a little bit surprised by the pricing towards the end. And we'll continue as is at the moment and
Yeah.
see if we can maybe make a couple bucks and maybe bring them on later. And in the meantime, we got good old Dave over there. He's not on this episode, but he's going to be taking this bad boy and running it through the ringer, making sure we sound all right, making sure the video is looking crisp. And if it doesn't look crisp, it is what it is. This is Zoom, first fucking go around doing this. So
Yeah.
take it as it is. But getting into gratitude, we went through a recording of this once before. Okay. So this is the second time we're doing this, and you know us, we're trying to get this shit right. We're trying to make it professional. We're trying to make it so that you guys can enjoy it and digest it in a way that isn't distracting, where the audio's got hiccups or the video is looking funky. So bear with us. We wanted to sort of run through a few things in this episode having to do with gratitude, how it affects you, your health, your physical health, your mental health, those around you, and what we're grateful for. So we're going to keep it fairly short, but these are sort of the things that we wanted to discuss, talk about. We went through the intro twice already, but Donnie mentioned in this first intro, Kyle obviously isn't here. We're gonna miss him. All right, he's got a lot of shit going on, and wasn't able to make it this time. But we didn't want to put this off any further. We understand that Blockhead Nation is more than just one of us, and we want to get you guys some content to digest as soon as possible, as quick as possible, and as effective as possible. So Donnie and I are going to handle this one. Kyle will be back, and it's going to be great when he is. So, you got any good stories, Don, about gratitude or any?
I got so many, just a matter of how much time we want to take here. It's cool though, because when you're talking, I think about all these things that I'm grateful for, and it's just reflecting on things that you're grateful for. I heard this the other day. I'm going to repeat it. Don't remember where I heard it from, but the person that I listened to, I believe on a podcast, was like, you should write down things that you're grateful for in the morning, or reach out to people that you're grateful for in the morning. Say, hey, what's up? It was really awesome hearing from you. The last week, it was awesome catching up. Or, oh, remember this time when we did this stupid thing? And those type of text messages can light up people's day, especially if you send them at a certain time, or maybe they're having a hard morning. That gratitude and giving that out in a way is a great way to start your day. I think it gives you that extra boost, but then you're also able to share that gift with somebody else. And the other thing I heard was writing down 3 things that you're grateful for at night. And the gentleman that was talking about this said, there was a few days where I didn't really have anything to be, that I didn't really know what to write down. It took him a while to write it, right? And he was like, the more I did this, it was like a practice, right? It's like going to the gym. Throughout the day, he started looking for things to be grateful for. And I think that that's just a wonderful practice when, we talk about gratitude, or you speak with about gratitude to other people, or you have these certain practices. Even if you do it for a few weeks, that little stint of time could maybe even change the paradigm and the perspective of how you look at gratitude for the rest of your life. And I say this all the time, but the glass half full mentality or mantra is really a great way to go about things. And it reminds me, like, I'm obviously still a very fast-paced, anxious guy who's always kind of go, go, go. But I hate being late, by the way. But I become okay with it in certain instances. And I was driving up to an appointment in Gloucester, Massachusetts the other day, and it was raining, sleet, snow. It was only a few weeks ago. It was like snowing out. And I'm like, I texted the guy. I was like, hey, I'm running a little bit late. A few things happened. Traffic was bad. Hey, I'm going to run 15 more minutes late. And it just was like, I was just happy to be outside of the house. It gave me more energy to make phone calls that I maybe didn't want to, answer emails when I was pulled over. And I was just okay with being in communication and being late, where I would have been speeding in the slush. I would have been stressed out. I wouldn't have been able to enjoy my podcast or my music or have these reflections. And it would have changed the trajectory of my entire day. But now there's nothing that I can do about that. And driving like a maniac and putting myself and other people in danger is not the antidote or the answer, right, Rudy, to being to saving, maybe cutting off 2 or 3 minutes, right? So yeah, it's just having that perspective and zooming out, I like to call it as well. And just being grateful for those things. I'm just grateful for the fact that I've been able to chill out a little bit. And I think that people who know me well probably have seen that maturity a little bit. And I am super grateful for that. And people who are wired like me, because I know you're out there, try to take a step back. Try to go phone, wallet, keys. I don't know if you heard the Adam Sandler song. It's really funny. It's like phone, wallet, keys before you leave the house or whatever.
Yeah. I
forget less things. I'm more accountable. I'm more on top of things. I might not be 15 minutes early to everything, which I still prefer. That's what you should be. If you're going to something, you shouldn't be late. But very grateful to just take a step back and be able to see things from a different view. And I think that when you're able to do that and not over amplify unnecessary situations, I mean, you might go to this appointment or do this thing one time. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can
You
do
can
about it.
live.
You just gotta live inside of that and be grateful for the opportunity as it presents itself and not. And the last thing I will say is, especially being somebody who's in sales, and I would really like to get into more sales stuff, Rudy, as we move forward here, and we'll hopefully bring on some, salespeople that we can speak to on the podcast. Really looking forward to the interview series and bringing people on. But when you show up late and you think that it's a big issue to an appointment, the other person might not give a shit, right? But you're bringing that negative attitude there and this over apologeticness. And it's like you're starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Like you're there to do a sales presentation or to connect with this person. And you're the only person who has a problem with you being late. And then you already damper the relationship that you could be cultivating instead of just showing up and be like, hey, what's up? And not even acknowledging it because you already sent an email anyway.
Well,
It is what it is.
that goes to work ethic. One of the core building blocks of just having a successful venture, right? So absolutely, some you mentioned it's just a great practice to have a grateful mindset, and I had said we're going to just touch on the health benefits here too, but I'm on this prevention.com site right now. Some of the 6-7 ways to practice gratitude, just for your reference, just as you're driving, as you're sitting in your cube, as you're doing your workout. Like Donnie said, write it down, keep a journal, spend 5 minutes before you go to bed. Just list some things that you're grateful for. It's going to make you sleep better. It's going to set you up for more restful sleep. It's going to set your day up if you do it in the morning. As just a good switch. I'm grateful for getting up in the morning, and I'm grateful for the family that's healthy around me. I'm grateful that I can call my mom and dad still, and because a lot of people, they don't have these opportunities. So it's good to put that in perspective. One of the other things says, say what you're grateful for out loud. What we're doing here, it's really nice. We can just share some of the things we're grateful for, some of the people we're grateful for. So that's important.
Absolutely.
Share that you're grateful with others. Send those texts in the morning. Send those texts after the fact. We went through it in our first run through. I got 2 guys in the Valley, Nick and Adrian, that I rely on to hang out when with the family. They're always quick to send a dude. That was really fun. Let me know next time we want to do it. It just makes you feel better.
I love that.
It's great. And then to your point earlier too, reframe. Just think, how good we have it. We really, there are so many terrible things going on in this world right now. Israel and Iran are at war. Ukraine's been at it for fucking way too long. Here in the U.S. and in peaceful states at the moment, we're pretty well off, and we have a lot of things that others don't. So just reframe your mindset to things could be a lot worse. You could set up visual reminders. If you something, a flower, just trigger, just a quick thought in your head. Golly, how beautiful is that? I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that sight. I'm grateful for that sunset. And then lastly, volunteer. Give back. It'll put you in a position to actually see that you are in a better spot than most. And it'll give you an opportunity to give back, because we are, as humans, here to serve others. We are here to benefit the greater populace. I think there's no better calling than to serve others. So if you can do that, and if you can be conscious of those things as you go out throughout your day, and you can have your negative mindset on occasion, but quickly turn it around. If you can exercise those 6 things, I said it in our first recording too. That gratitude mindset's like a magnet. People want to be around you. When I get those texts after we go golfing or after I have a fun family outing, it's just, I want to go do it again. Right. It's a real boost. It motivates you. Gratitude motivates you too. So I just wanted to list some of the things you can do to practice gratitude if you're having a tough time. You know, you don't have to resort to Mary J or Zins or caffeine. You can just
Even though they're all awesome
yes,
in so many ways, and so many people use them for a reason, right? And they're not
right,
super
right,
detrimental, especially
right.
depending on the way that you take them. But
Right.
I love all that. Thanks for running that through. I know that Rudy, obviously, as we know, he's more organized. He likes to have things that have structure. So bringing some real information to the table is always appreciated, because I would have just rambled on, and which I'm going to continue to ramble on, by the way, and give a bunch of stories about how I'm grateful about shit. Another thing that I wanted to say, that we talked about when in the other recording that didn't fucking work out, like that we do all the time, because we're awful at this kind of shit. But we're getting better, and
We're
that's
getting
what
better.
this whole that's the whole thing though. That's what this whole fucking podcast is about. Just do it, send it. Our goal, right, is to do 24 episodes by the end of the year. We're obviously off track a little bit because this is our 5th episode, but we can make up for that, right? And if we have to readjust that goal, we will, but we're not too far behind the 8 ball. We could figure this out and still do the 24 episodes. And I think that's important, to have a long-term goal and then say, what am I doing every day to hit those goals in order to stay on track? And if I have to readjust, I have to readjust. Their life circumstances, but these are just ways to keep yourself accountable, and how we have so far. And, we obviously don't want to put out a crap product either. So,
Yeah.
that's something that
And
we're cognizant of, right? Yeah.
absolutely. And be thankful that we can do that too. Like just these small things, guys, we're able to fucking do this stuff, right? You guys are able to do stuff on a day-to-day basis that is going to get you to your goals. Realize that, harness that, and go do it, right? Like that, like you said, Don, that's what it's all about. Doing that day to day, block by block, so that you can get to where you want to get to. Realize that it's not too far if you can just be consistent, maintain the 5 blocks that we've highlighted in this series, and really behind it all, most importantly, be grateful that you can do it. So,
Yeah. Well, that's a great point, Rudy, because you like, part of this is to be motivational, right? To say you can just start this with your friends. You can do a podcast. You can make a business. We're going to start getting into this business stuff eventually down the road, and we want to walk people through that. Going back to,
sorry, Don, and share what others are doing in starting their own businesses. We're going to get into an interview section in the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
So,
and really just show how people do it, because going back to the state of the world and just being grateful to even fucking live in America, you can take this gratitude and turn it into motivation. Because if we lived in a different country, we want to be able to start a podcast. That's not allowed. You're not even allowed to fucking do that. So even the fact that you could just start any business, anything you want, you can just open up a credit card, do whatever, and just send it, and there's a chance you can get successful. And the amount of work and how strategical you are, you actually have you have a lot of pull on how your business actually turns out.
you have the opportunity. Yeah. You have the opportunity
to do that. And most entrepreneurs fail multiple times, and they have that ability just to keep going and going. You can file bankruptcy. You can freaking get different credit cards. You can get investors. I mean, there are a lot of freaking ways. Not that it's easy, not that life is easy, not that these things are easy, but there's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of ways to follow your passion. And I think that if you can find something that you have passion in, and then start to get creative inside of that, you can really do something that you've always wanted to do and start to affect change, and go back to some of the things that Rudy said. Because in order to give back, which we also want to do, we want to set up some type of charity event, and that, this will all come,
That's coming.
as the months progress. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but we have to get ourselves to a certain position, right? As a podcast and as a platform, to get to a point where we could actually put on an event that would be useful and not cost more money to put on than we actually generate to actually give the most back that we possibly can. So
Yeah.
we're working on that, but you do have to work on yourself first, right? You have to be grateful for what you have, work up from there. And if you don't want to make those phone calls or you don't want to do whatever in the morning, just think, wow, I actually have the opportunity to do this. Especially me being in sales, like I could wake up every morning and do 500 phone calls or whatever, right? I mean, there's certain practices like I have that ability, and I'm very grateful that I have that ability to really just extrapolate what I want to make. And a lot of times I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
So that
Well,
reframing is can be big, especially if you do it on a regular basis.
yeah. And part of that reframing too is like just taking, as you mentioned, just take that quick step back. What are we here for? You know, what did I want to do? Ball in. That's what we're here for.
Stop. You said step back.
Making that dough. No, we're here to really pursue a goal and influence change. And if you can just realize that, because it's 9 o'clock, guy, or right now it's 9:38 on a Tuesday, and we're tired. We got jobs, we got families, we got friends, and people relying on us. It wasn't that easy getting going on this tonight, right, Don? I mean, but at the same time, we're
It
here.
wasn't I had to hook up all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and we had some tech issues, and we're a little demoralized, but at the same time, thank God that we're able to do it, and we're able to get on the horn and produce something that I think is going to be meaningful to others, and it's really going to encapsulate the entire Blockhead series in that you can do it because you're pursuing a goal and you're grateful to pursue that goal. That's your purpose. So, and by the way, if none of this is hitting you, and if you really just don't want to do it, then maybe you're pursuing the wrong goal, right?
Also true. Yes.
Try to think of really what your gifts are, and we talk about that in the other episodes. Really, just try to hone in on what you're good at, who you want around you, and what you think you can do to make a change here. So, in a nutshell, just fucking be grateful. Turn it around.
You fucking great.
I mean, I said we didn't want to be on this thing for too long because it is fucking late. But at the same time, just be grateful, guys. I mean, it's going to just help you out. I did say we're going to talk about the health impacts too. You can, there's clinical studies that if you can just or try and do those 6 practices and focus on the small things that you are grateful for, your depression will literally subside. Definitely make sure that your physical makeup is good, and you're able to get the right nutrients in you to do that. But at the same time, if you can get that mindset going, it's going to improve your psychology. You're going to be better off. You're going to be fitter. You're going to sleep better. You're going to attract better people into your life because, like I said, you're a magnet when you are grateful and thankful, and it's going to improve your life in a major way. So,
Absolutely. You know what I was thinking, Rudy? I don't know if I've fully formulated this thought, but I'm going to try to throw it out there. Gratitude is a great way to reverse engineer a situation, right? To pull out the best out of it, right? To reflect on it. Because let's just say you go golfing and you're just so grateful that you went golfing with your buddies, right? Whether it's, Nick and those guys or whatever. I'll go golfing this weekend in Tampa. So I could play really bad and go, oh man, the weather was bad. I had rental clubs. This sucks. My buddies were being obnoxious and talking in my backswing. I could just go the whole wrong direction and then think about my golf game, because a lot of times the next time you play, you're thinking about the last time you played, right? That's like your only frame of reference, your perspective of your last swing path.
Sure.
And especially with us amateurs, that swing path can can alter quite a bit. So,
It's not always the
but like,
same. Yeah.
and I hope this is a decent analogy to what I'm trying to depict here, but it's if you look back at that and say, oh, well, like I enjoyed all these things, it gets all that blame and judgment and just bullshit out of the way. And you can just actually think about how much fun you had and whatever. And then you don't need to take all those bad thoughts moving forward. You can just say, okay, this is what I was doing wrong. This wasn't because I'm not clouded by all these excuses and bullshit. I was
Right.
just grateful to be there. Okay, I wasn't, we were just having fun and I wasn't swinging right. And I can actually see, maybe remember some of the things I wasn't doing right because I looked at it from a perspective of gratitude and it cleared the snow globe.
Yep.
Even the Blockhead series, right? It's like you can look at something that you did, like if our series is a business, right? And you look back into work ethic, okay, well, where did, if you're looking at it with a lens of gratitude, you're going to be more realistic about your work ethic, being grateful for it, but then also knowing where you took it too far and you were run down. And I could go all the way back through the Blockhead series, but I don't want to overcomplicate this. And like I said, it's not fully formulated of an idea, but if you want to reverse engineer a situation, look at it from a perspective of gratitude, and I think you'll have a lot of clarity along the way.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's I think that came off well for an
Thank you.
unformulated thought.
Yeah, I'm
One
trying.
thing that
It's late.
one thing that goes into that is forgiveness.
Mm,
You know, you have a bad
preach.
swing. Yeah, you have a bad swing.
Yeah.
You're hard on yourself. You gotta forgive that. You gotta move on. Think of the good things, right? If you have a fight with your wife, ah, golly, she's tough sometimes. Oh man, forgive, move on. Come on. It's like I said, it's just gonna put you in a better spot just in the future. I know that it puts me in a better spot to forgive and forget often. Um, I don't really, it's not good to hold onto these negative thoughts and these harbor these bad feelings towards people or towards events or towards yourself. Forgive, be thankful. You're here. You're here for something. You're here for a purpose. And if we can all realize that, and we can just take that and take others' actions towards you with a grain of salt, and mind you, if somebody's gonna hurt you, or if they want to hurt you, if you know that they are trying to bring you down or um, hurt you in some way, mentally or physically, it's okay, to be mad about that in the moment, but do your best to move on.
Forgive and
All
forget.
Forgive and forget. All's that
Bob and weed.
all's that negative feeling is just going to bring you down to their level. You don't want to do that. We don't want to do
Nope.
that. It's going to distract you. Move on, focus, try to forget and just keep your path, all right? Because we're all here for something and we all are special in some way, shape or form. And let's not forget that.
I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
That we tried to do last time. Who is the most grateful person that you know and why?
Yeah. Yeah. I went down a negative path because I feel like I get some complaining from a lot of the people that I talked to recently with it, and frankly, it's not a lot of people. I'm down in my basement. I'm grateful that I have a job, but I'm usually alone in my basement. And if I have any interaction, it's with people that are voicing complaints. But if I had to pick one person, and I said it before, it's probably my mother. There are she's gone through a lot physically and professionally that could have really sent her into some dark places, but she's able never at a point where she let it get to her. She's always able to turn it around. She always puts on a smile for us, her kids, and she I say she leans on the fact that her kids are healthy and doing well as one of the core simple things in life that she's grateful for, and she'll never forget that. And I take that from her in my own life, looking at my son in the morning and just grateful and happy that he's alive and he's here with us and healthy and doing his wild things on a day to day basis. I love that, and I'll never forget that. And I'll always try to be grateful in and around him, and just show that example for him. So probably Mama Luce is probably one of the more grateful ladies I know, people I know. That's not to say that there aren't more grateful people that I do know, but
Yeah, of course.
want to give Mama Luce a shout. How about you, Don?
Well, I've thought about it more since the last time we spoke and it didn't record. You throw that out there. But my uncle Paul, and the reason why it's so awesome is because how far he's come. I won't get too much into his, his stuff, right? But he wasn't always this way. You know what I mean? Like he had more of just a competitive, like more stern attitude, just about, direct approach to life. And every time, going back to what you said earlier, we play golf, and I play golf with him and my uncle Teddy too. And they're both in their 60s. And it's like, we play golf and it's for hours and hours. We'll play like 36 or like 40 something holes in a day. And I'm just so grateful for that relationship and how I've been able to cultivate a relationship with both of them personally. So I want to give both those guys a shout out. I love them both very much. And those moments are some of my favorite times. I mean, I can't think of really anything else that I love more than golfing with those guys. It's amazing.
Mm.
But going back to Big Paul being grateful, he'll text me and be like, love you so much, dude. It was awesome golfing today. Like, had such a great time. It was a blast. And then the other thing that he does is he always brags about his grandkids and how he's just so grateful and how he loves them so much. And, he loves Vienna, and she always has his back. And Gavin, is his buddy, and River is just this little tough farm boy that runs around, and they've gotten so much closer, and it's just like he's just always bragging about the kids, and he hangs out with them as much as he can, and it's just an awesome thing to see how being a grandfather has really shifted his perspective in a lot of ways, and I think he'd be the first one to admit that, and he would actually be a great person to have on here because he's just a very interesting and funny dude. But yeah, I just love how he does that and how he sends that text message. And it really just makes you feel good. And it gives you that bump and that boost and that pep to want to do it again and drive 2.5 hours to North Adams, even if it's just to golf 9 holes and hang out after and make dinner or something. So I love that. And everyone who knows him, gets a kick out of him. He's a great guy.
Oh, Paulie's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
And absolutely, I'd love to have Paulie on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about Big Paul, and then there's Paulie, right?
Big Paul, Big Paul,
Big Paul. But Paulie also would be awesome to have on.
Great.
Yeah, but Paulie's awesome too. But we'll talk about Paulie another day. We'll save it, even though not that he's not grateful because he has a great perspective on things as well.
But like you said, Don, like that text, it gives you a pep, and I bet on those days that you do get it, you're in a little bit better shape to give gratitude to others. So it's interesting how it's a cascading effect. And I don't think it's by coincidence, it's by design that you can share that gratitude, share that thankfulness. And, I certainly have to be better about it, honestly. There's friends and family that I haven't texted in years, unfortunately. And I'll take the time right here to let them know that I am grateful for them. Each and every one of them. And I wouldn't take back the time that I spent with anybody over my 35 years, just because, it's put me where I am. Just know that that time with anybody that I've had interactions with was valuable in some way, shape, or form. So it's good to send those texts because it is cascading. It is we're missing it in this world a little bit. We're focusing a little bit too much on the negatives a lot, and there's a lot to complain about, and I get it. But if we can sort of change that narrative and just think of what we have, and we have shoes on our feet, we have a bed we can sleep in, we have a house that shelters us, we have family and friends that are healthy. That's the good stuff. And the more we can really lean on that I think the better this world's going to be.
I love that. And you saying that too about family just really makes me want to shout out everybody in my family. Honestly, I would love just to take this moment to give some shout outs.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start it with this. It really ironically, I actually texted. Yeah, I hate to take credit for this first, but this is the order of operations. But it wasn't a direct correlation, so the idea wasn't stolen from me. So I texted my roommates and was like, Gina, Nat, and Joe, and was like, hey, we should do like a weekly dinner. We all live together. There's no reason why we can't take one day a week. If somebody can't make it, no big deal. And just all cook something that we like, make a few different things. We fucking live together. Like that'd be cool to share that, that weekly dinner. And it's something that we would always look back on.
Yeah. You
Fast
won't regret
forward,
it.
absolutely. So fast forward to uh last last week, last Wednesday or whatever, I'm actually back in Adams, and my cousin Carly, Polly's sister, Paul's daughter, she's like, I actually been reaching out to the family. I think we should do a Sunday dinner and it'd be awesome. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be amazing. I would do a full out Sunday dinner and people should try to get out to Waltham. Or maybe I could, go back and cook somewhere or whatever. But that's an amazing idea. And it's just weird that I had the idea and then she brought it up without talking to me or hearing it
Mhm.
to do with our family. So that's something that I actually been meaning to send a text message out. And how simple is that? We have a family group chat. There's like 18, 20 people in it because we got a big family on my mom's side. And just doing that ritual every Sunday, if there's 20 people in my family or 50, whatever, how many people with the kids and stuff, if 10 make it, great. Sometimes 30 people will make it. Sometimes 15 people will make it. But your community or the people you live with, just something like that is a great way to just show your appreciation for each other. And I think that's just a good idea. And I want to just put that idea out there for other people to hopefully steal because I think it's an amazing idea. And yeah, I'm so grateful for my family. I mean, on my mom's side, like obviously Carly and Polly and Paul, I'm close with. My uncle Ted, he's coming back from Hawaii soon, so we'll be golfing. His son Teddy is awesome. I mean, my cousin Charlotte, I'm really close with. She's really kind of like, the kind of the glue to our family. I think she brings a lot of things together. She kind of took my grandma's place after her passing a long time ago. And um, my cousin Ashley, her sister just texted me and said, let's connect tomorrow to go over some stuff. I mean, it's just amazing to have that kind of relationship. And my cousin Amber's a lawyer and, I bounce ideas off her all the time and she's really smart and just an awesome person to talk to and really fun to hang out with. So, and now Hannah's amazing. She lets me stay there every time I go home and she cooks for me and lets me sleep there. And she picked me up at like 4 a.m. from Nate's house because I was bugging out one night. You know what I mean? She just, she's awesome. So she's got my back like 120%. Now I feel like I can't leave anybody out. Like Jesse always hosts the Thanksgiving parties, and my grandpa's obviously the man. He's 94. He still plays cards. He's with it. Like it's just awesome. He lives with my Aunt Roseanne, so she obviously takes care of him. And we always have amazing conversations and stay up late. So I could obviously go off forever, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out. But my family's awesome. Even my mom is so cool. Like we obviously had some times because it's my mom, but I can tell her anything.
Yeah.
I can tell my mom anything, and I just can speak like I'm speaking now, and she's just cool. She just gets it, and it's really nice to have that relationship with especially a parent because a lot of people don't.
Oh, critical, man.
Now on my dad, I know I'm going on a rant here, but on my dad's side, I just had my cousin Anthony come, and he's I always give people crap because no one comes out to Boston to see me, including you, but you did come that one time. But anyway,
I gotta get out there.
Yeah, you got to get back out. It's not that far. Like I said, I make the drive all the time, but he came out. He's a cook. We cooked all this food. We went to a pool hall. It was just amazing. We went to see my cousin Louise. Her maiden name's DeFazio, so that's the Italian side of the family. In case anybody was wondering. And we got to see her. I've obviously been able to connect with Anthony's mom, Barbara, a lot lately, especially since around the time of my uncle's passing, my uncle Tony, rest in peace. Being able to connect with his brother Michael and those guys on my dad's side of the family, which is a lot smaller, but to be able to rekindle some of those relationships and still have a relationship with those and really get closer to Anthony, especially in the last few years, has just been a real joy. And family's a great thing, and I'm just very grateful for them. And then, like I said, I could go on another rant about all the friends that I have, but I've also done a lot of complaining this year, Rudy, and this because you've heard it about all the weddings and stuff. Like I have a bachelor party this weekend. And it's like, oh, oh, it's so much. I can't do anything I want to do, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, what else would I want to do than to be able to spend a special day with these people that I've always had a relationship, even if we don't talk all the time. I know it's going to be all love with these guys that I see. Some of them I haven't seen in years, or only once or twice in the last 6 or 7 years, you know? So,
Yeah.
um,
Amen.
it's the fact that I'm going to go and have this awesome experience in Tampa, Florida with them, you know, for 2 or 3 nights is like, I mean, why the hell would I complain about that? You know, who cares how much
Yeah.
it costs? And having that gratitude mindset, I've really been thinking of lately. I've been thinking of like different ways to make money. And, you know, I don't want to knock on wood, I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch, but it's like when you have a gratitude and an abundance mentality, you make these things happen and you keep moving. And then, you know, money comes in and it goes and it comes in. But thinking that everything is stressful, or I'm like making these events more, uh, putting more weight on them than I have to, and not just being grateful, like I was just saying that I am now, you know, that I'm getting closer to it. I'm not giving myself the ability and the abundance and the space to go out and make that money back in abundance and be able to do all these amazing things that I want to do, go on the trips that I want to go on with Gina. So yeah, I'm
And to really experience those times without having that, you know, that angst and that negative, oh man, I wish I didn't spend all this money. No, just go enjoy it. The money will
exactly,
come, it'll go,
exactly.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. Just
Preach.
enjoy it, guys. Enjoy your time with those that you love. And, you know, I'm not going to name them all because I got 12 aunts and uncles on my mom's
Yeah.
side and 8 surviving on my dad's side. And um, I love them all. I really do. And if I could, if I, you know, if we could get to a point where I could give back to them, and maybe, you know, maybe that's on me too. You know, I always have, you know, the highest hopes and the biggest dreams that I can really do something great. You know, do something really big someday. And for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened yet. But, you know, if we can
We're
continue to
trying.
put our, yeah, yeah, if we can continue to build this block by block and keep, you know, doing everything that we can to pursue our passions, our goals, and keep showing up and, you know, being vulnerable, you know, going through your YOPS progression and considering people. And if you can do all those things and be grateful in the moment, you know, even if you, even, I feel like even if I'm not big in some way or shape or form, it'll be a life lived well. And I want those folks, family especially, to know that I love them. And you know, big shout out to a lot of my college roommates. I haven't talked to them in at least a year at this point. 10 years for some of them.
Shame on you.
So I know,
Yeah.
seriously,
Same.
shame on me. So, I mean, big shout out to Smash House and all those boys at Winnick, and
Yeah.
and any friend that I haven't talked to in a while, just know I love you. I'm here for you. I don't you know, I don't hold grudges. I don't really have anything to be, no, to be begrudging about. Just know I'm living. I'm trying to make myself big and bad so I can, you know, give back a little bit more than, you know,
Say big. You say
not
big and bad.
yeah, big and bad. Yeah, well, I've been going to CrossFit and I'm fucking large. It wouldn't be a
You look
Blockhead
good. I
Series.
mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I still
Well,
post you up, but I mean, that's besides the point. We'll have to do that
oh,
one day.
all
Um,
right. Well, let's
I
hit the
still
bench,
put you on
huh?
the. Let's put you on the block. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about putting you on the post.
They
But
used to call me the king of Pine Grove. You know that? Because I won 21 every single fucking time I step on that court. And Kyle will vouch for me
I
because
really want to. I really want to play with you. I mean, regardless
I
of what happens, I'll save the trash talk for now. But hopefully we'll be on the same team. But I'd love to get out to Wacona or UMass or wherever you play because I've been getting back into it again, and I feel good. You know, I
yeah,
played
you
like a
look good.
legit
You
cup
look
game.
good. You're Drano, bro. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously clipped the post right to the making of them, but did you see the TikTok?
I didn't see the TikTok yet. No, I got to get on there and see it.
Well, they got like 300 or 400 likes, which was cool because like TikTok's based off likes and not followers. And but I was just screwing around taking a video of myself, right? And I obviously missed, you know, some shots and I had to clip the video, but then I ended up making 34 foul shots in a row. So then I like sped it up and put it on there. And obviously people, you know, it was interesting because, you could see me making a bunch of them in a row. But yeah, just doing those videos has been really cool. Basketball is a big part of my life. So that's really what I've been trying to do is be grateful for this platform, be grateful that people sometimes get a kick out of it, and then just putting up the shit that we want to put up. I know I put up
Yeah.
some goofy stuff or some basketball stuff, but the people who I know who get a kick out of it, I see who likes it and stuff, or sends me a message about it, and it's just fun and it's funny. And I feel like for a long time I don't know, I had this like weird story about, oh, like I don't want to post stuff or like post stuff about myself or be um what's the word for it, like just like self.
Yeah. Who's going to care about what I do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, dude, I really like I'm in sales. People tell me no all the time. Like, I don't give a crap, dude. Like, how stupid or
Yeah.
whatever people say about my videos. It's just like I know that some people get a kick out of it. I have fun making them, right? And that's all that should matter. And I think that vulnerability and that transparency and just honestness, it goes a lot further than people think. And
Yeah.
speaking of being grateful, I'm just grateful to get out of my own way and just do the things that I've always wanted to do. And I think that it's hopefully opening up doors for me, and a lot of those doors we can share with people as we kind of move forward through this process.
That's the goal. Yep. And we will do that every step of the way. We're going to take you folks on this. And yeah, I think this was a good discussion, Don. I don't want to,
Yeah,
cut it
overdo it.
short, but I also don't want to overdo it. And I'm fucking tired because I got to get up at 4
I
in the
can tell.
morning.
I can tell you're anxious. Yeah,
Uh,
your CrossFit journey is really amazing. But yeah, shout out to Jeff Mullen too. Very grateful for him. That expo was amazing.
Grateful for
The
all the
people that
partners. Yep.
the partners are
Especially
great.
Jeff.
We got, yep, especially Jeff, and we got a bunch of followers after it. Like just a huge the CrossFit community that you're in, but also the Spartan race and the Tough Mudder and that crew of people who do those endurance races. I hope I'm not too close to the microphone. Have to do this again.
You sound good.
But they're and Jeff said this before we went. Jeff Mullen, he's like, it's just a supportive group. People just look out for you, and they really do. They were very engaging. They shared their information. They were willing to hear what we had to say, and then they'll follow you back and stuff. And that goes a long way because a lot of groups and clubs and communities don't do that. And I think that mutual support was really great to see. And we're really looking forward to doing that Spartan race in August. So I don't know if we've officially announced that yet, but we are going to do a race in August, and that's going to be really fun to do and to meet with some of those really great people again.
Absolutely. That is, just looking at those types of communities. I mean, that's sort of what we'd want to build here at Blockhead Nation is just people that want to support one another and want to pursue
Exactly.
their
I love that.
passions and want to continue to better themselves. And, hopefully in some ways can use us as an example as we progress. So we want to give that to you guys. We care for our listeners. We care for our followers. We really do. We're extremely grateful for the support, and we want to give back as much as we can, and in multiple different ways. So,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you, Don. Thankful for you, my friend, for taking me on this journey that I probably wouldn't have gone on had you not posted that vulnerable message on, or that accountability post. So thank you for that, and thank you for putting yourself out there. This isn't the compliment section, but I do love you, and this is good stuff.
Absolutely. And I am grateful that you commented on that post and that you were able to share your awesome ideas and this brand that you created, the Blockhead Nation, right, with me, and just to do this experience together and see how good we work together in this venture, and just to think about all the things that we can hopefully accomplish moving forward and hopefully the people we can impact is amazing. So I'm just grateful to be able to do this with you. I'm grateful that we've gotten the support that we have thus far, and just very grateful that we're finished with the Blockhead series and we can move on to different, bigger, brighter things. So
Amen. And Kyle, we love you too, bro. Thank God for you. All right, we're very thankful for you and Dave for helping us along this.
Get yourself a Dave.
Get yourself a Dave, and do not underestimate the power that a team can have, folks. So I think that does it. So it's been a pleasure. We will come out with this as soon as possible, and we will be getting into our interviews with entrepreneurs and people that are pursuing their passions, so that we can sort of give more examples as to what people are up to and what they're doing with their lives, and how they're building block by block.
Hey, grateful for you, Rudy. Block by block, baby.
Blockhead.